This mom, in a sense, is apologizing because she had a parental judgment error when she brought her young daughter to a fancy restaurant.
Okay, so obviously I love my child, and that's why even though we had childcare, I still wanted to spend my birthday with her. So we took her with us to the River Palm Terrace. After spending over $200 on dinner without including tip, we didn't even know what we ate. And the entire time we were just both on edge and panicky and like just trying to get her to calm down. So, in short, don't ruin other people's dinner. I'm a mom and I'm not bringing her to dinner again. She can go to Five Guys, Chipotle, and coffee shops with us. She's not going to a nice restaurant anymore for a while.
Okay, so she is cut off. And it sounds like she realized something, that bringing a baby to a fancy restaurant is not a good combination. Get a sitter. Virginia, what are your thoughts on this? Did you ever bring any of your young kids to a fancy restaurant? Did you regret it? And what do you think about other people that do it?
I think if the kid can be cool and pleasant and non-disruptive to your table and other tables, then bring them. It really is going to depend on the temperament of the young child. Because sometimes you'll bring a little one and they'll be fine, they'll be great, they'll be awesome. As soon as they start making it miserable for you or for other people especially, you got to remove the kid from the situation. Look, the more you bring kids out into those scenarios and you don't just do it once a year, the more acclimated they are to acting right.
If you have a baby, what crosses the line into when you need to get them out? Because I have seen that before too, where there have been babies in public situations and you're thinking to yourself, I think you're past the limit of what is socially acceptable for child noise, because there's cooing, sometimes screaming, little quick outbursts here and that. And then there's crying, or there's throwing, or there's something else that goes on. You're thinking, I don't know, man, kind of read the room. It might be time to get it out. What do you think is the boundary? When do you cross that threshold, Virginia?
You have to do what you just said, read the room. You have to know and be self-aware. If there's any screaming, crying, throwing, no. You remove the child from that situation. And that just means you're not going to get to finish your dinner.
It's interesting to see where some people are set on this. I asked, are you a jerk if you bring a baby to a fancy restaurant? Right now, 56% of people say yes.
And I think they might be saying that because they're thinking the baby's going to interrupt the dinner. If a baby interrupts the dinner, you are the jerk if you keep the baby in there.
I think the reason why they say it to that clip is that there are unfortunately too many parents that are not observing and reading the room.
Right.
And they're allowing the kid to go too much. And it's giving all babies a bad name. And most people would just say then at that point, no babies, rather than let's trust and hope that the parents are going to be cool and remove the child when it's time to remove the child.
Yeah, as soon as you're making it uncozy for everybody else, you got to get the hell out of there.
Especially if it's fancy.
And then if you are the wait staff at a fancy restaurant, when do you step in? Because you want to talk about what could become ugly and fast. Trying to tell somebody about their baby and that their baby is past the limits of annoyance in that restaurant.
This is not the job of the wait staff. This is the manager of the restaurant. The highest paid employee there that's running the show must do this. You cannot put this on a server.